4. The invocation will be given by Kay Horner, Awakening America Alliance. Pledge of Allegiance will be provided by Commissioner Daniel Beatty. Please stand.
Lord God, as we come to you as the supreme King, righteous judge, and lawgiver, we thank you for your Son, Jesus Christ, and the written word as well as the living word and your Spirit that leads, guides, and directs us. We thank you for these who are assigned as leaders in our community, servants who serve you first and foremost and serve this community. We thank you for their sacrifice, their time, and their investment of their energies and often their finances, Lord, in helping to order the affairs of Bradley County. We thank you that you've promised in your word that if we need wisdom, we can ask you and you would give it to us liberally. And the wisdom would be pure, peaceable, full of mercy and good fruit. So we pray that there would be wisdom given to your servants tonight who helped oversee the affairs of this county. We know the needs, we know the situations and circumstances, the homelessness, the drug addiction, and all of those challenges that we face, but we also know the great things that are happening in Bradley County. We pray you would give them wisdom in the decisions that they face. In Jesus' precious name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we go to the mayor, I'd like to welcome to the commission the principal of Bradley High School, Patrick Spangler. Welcome. Also, Cameron Fisher from the Greenway and Mike Griffith from the YMCA. Mayor, it's your nickel.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good evening, everyone. Just mentioned, I was talking to Kay a minute ago, and she was talking about a prayer group that meets every week, and they pray about a lot of things, of course, but one of the things they pray for every week is for the elected officials in this community, and that's something that we appreciate. We need to keep that in mind. I only have two things. First of all, most of you know about it, but there was a pretty large fire on the eastern portion of Bradley County out in the Osmond Road area earlier this evening. About 150, 200 acres on fire, but fire departments along with different nearby companies joined in, and last time I heard, they did have it under control. So that's a good thing. No injuries or anything have occurred in that, and the fire is under control. The other thing is you have a letter in front of you. I wanted to give you a copy of what we are sending from our office to our senators and our congressmen concerning the American Connectivity Program. It's pretty important all across our country, but even here in Bradley County, it's probably, a lot of you probably didn't know how many people actually use this program. People that can't afford the internet, maybe they have internet service, but they can't afford it. This program, the American Connectivity Program, provides subsidy funding for eligible households based on their income to offer discounted or free broadband internet service. In Bradley County alone, over 10,000 households are participating in it as we speak. $5,495,000 in funding over the last 2 years here in Bradley County. Funding flows from the federal government directly to the internet provider, which then shows up as a discount on their monthly invoice. So a lot of people, 10,000 people here in Bradley County that probably couldn't otherwise afford internet have it thanks to this program. The program is set to expire in April, I believe. So we've been asked to send a letter to our congressmen and senators asking them to continue the program, re-up the funding for it. It is I'm not big on federal help down at the local level that much, but this is a program that helps a lot of people. So that's the letter we're sending, and the reason I'm bringing it to you is in case the commission wanted to send something similar. It's strictly up to you, but I just wanted to let you know about it. Any questions?
Mayor, Commissioner Collins, you've got the IT committee, right?
Yes, sir.
Would you be interested in formulating a letter?
I'd love to be a part of that. That's an IT first. Thank you very much. I'm on a roll the last 2 weeks.
You're on a roll, man. Thank you, Mayor. Go ahead.
That's all I have, if there's no questions. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. We'll now go to reports from the committees and our districts. We'll start on our left with Commissioner Rogers, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Glad to see the IT committee getting involved here in local county government. Would like to mention last week, along with Cleveland State and City Fields, was announced that they're launching plumbing boot camps in collaboration. City Fields is launching plumbing boot camps in collaborations with Cleveland State. This addition to the workforce training option is huge because, one, there's a big need for plumbers in our local workforce, but also this training will lead to a career at a livable wage, creating long-term financial stability. This is for participants who are overcoming substance abuse, incarceration, lack of opportunity, and these people deserve a second chance, restoring a sense of hope that shows the students that they don't have to fall back into those damaging cycles. This comprehensive 3-week program is designed to provide participants with practical hands-on training culminating in 3 nationally recognized NC3 rigid certifications. For more information about this program, you can reach out to City Fields. It is taking place, I believe, at the Pye Center through Cleveland State as well. So this is going to be a great program for our local community. So if there's anyone in the public that would like to participate in this program, I encourage you to reach out to City Fields and sign up for it. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Ledford, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, I'd like to welcome Dan. He's one of my constituents. And I also like to welcome I think it's the FFA class from Bradley. Is that correct? From high school. Welcome to our commission meeting. The only thing I have, Mr. Chairman, is Relay for Life is coming pretty soon, April the 20th. In a couple of weeks, Dwayne Blue will come and do a little presentation like he did last year. The only thing I will say, there will be an ice cream sandwich eating contest again this year. And if no one would like to take my place, I'll be participating in that, and I will need your money. Other than that, Mr. Chairman, I'm doing fine. 6 districts well. Thank you.
Commissioner Thompson would like to speak.
If you ever eat that $100 worth of ice cream I bought for you.
There ain't no way. I don't know how they ever done it. I ate 7 and like to die afterwards.
All right, Commissioner Slater.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Last week was National FFA Week. The first National FFA Week was celebrated in 1948, 76 years ago, when the National FFA Board of Directors designated a week-long celebration for all things FFA. During this time, the FFA also commemorates George Washington's birthday, which falls on February the 22nd, and recognizes his legacy and contributions to the agriculture industry. Last fall, Bradley Central High School's FFA attended the National FFA Convention. During the convention, the local chapter was awarded their 56th consecutive gold level award. Currently, they are working this year toward their 57th award. I would like to thank Arlette Robinson for being here today. Arlette oversees she's the Director of Career and Technical Education. She also was last year's Tennessee State Supervisor of the Year. And at this time, I would like to introduce Jamie Haynes and Carrie Beth Pankey to come and share about their experiences. And I think they have some students with them today that are also going to share about their experiences related to FFA.
Hey, great. Thank you very much. Ooh, my. Yeah.
Everyone in TV land will be able to hear them.
Before I start, I was just curious myself to see how many of you all at one point in time was in an ag class or in the FFA. If you don't care, we've got 4, 5, and I know Mr. Mason was, and I would be willing to guess offered. Right there goes to show the amount of effort we put into building tomorrow's leaders, as has been done in the past. I'm really proud of this group of kids that's behind me. Before I let any of them talk, I want to point out a couple of things. The first national gold for Bradley was in 57. And between 57 and 67, they were either silver or gold. They were gold 5 times. So not only since 1968 have they got the longest streak, it is very likely they have the most in the nation total. And it is an award that the students, it is a student-led organization. It's not like I'm a coach, calling plays. They come together during the summer. I did the math just a second ago. These kids have went to 3 different planning events and spent 10 days, 8 nights at those events during the summer on their own time to plan the program of activities for the year. And then that program of activities is judged. And it's based off of the amount of participation, how many kids are there. It's based off of the quality, and it's based off of all the standards. We have 15 different standards. One standard is promoting agriculture. Another standard is what are we doing for the environment? What are we doing for the community? And they grade those. In the last 5 years, they don't advertise the rankings, but they score the rubric. But in the last 5 years, 3 of those 5 years, we were the highest ranking application in the state. And I'm really proud of that, and I'm proud of these kids. These kids do that work, and it's amazing to watch. When I first started working here 10 years ago, I was worried about being able to do it. I didn't realize that it's not me doing it, it's them doing it, and they set an example for the kids coming up and the younger kids, and they just follow in their footsteps, and most of the time they get bigger and better as they go. And Miss Pankey joined us last year. I've already seen a tremendous improvement just from last year. She's doing a great job, and these kids are doing a great job, and I appreciate what you all do for agriculture in the community. I'm also on the board of directors at Tri-State. I see what y'all are working on. I may not be as familiar with y'all, but I know that y'all are doing good work, and I appreciate you for your support.
Hey, I'm Carrie Beth Pankey. Like Mr. Haynes said, this is my first year teaching at Bradley Central, but it's not my first year around Bradley Central FFA. I'm actually a former student and was a former officer, just like many of these students are here today. But I'm here to tell you that these students right here with me are 10 times better than the students that were there when I was there. And so I'm just going to let them show you what they've been up to, but just know that they are rock stars in the program and even in the state and obviously nationally too.
Anna Sanchez, I'm the president of Bradley today. Really proud of the rich history of Bradley. Not be possible without all of you. Brought soup bags for you guys from our recent Annapolis national chapter. Proudest so far is found out we're going to recognize 10% membership.
Hi, I'm Kylie West. I'm Bradley Central FFA's reporter, and I've been involved in many of the activities that we're able to participate in due to our level of participation nationally. But overall, my favorite has been our livestock program. Over this past semester, I raised a market hog from weaning date to slaughter, and it was an amazing experience. We get to feed and train these pigs, and then I took her out to Knoxville and showed her in our regional competition and placed second in our market hog show. And as you'll see tonight, they aren't in the goodie bags, but in our cooler up here, we have some pork chops and ham from this project.
All right, so my name is Caden Doty, and I am the treasurer here in the Bradley FFA chapter. But not only am I the treasurer, but also I'm a leader in our greenhouse classes. And one of the really special things about our greenhouse is it's every year, and we strive to be great at it. And so just now, our greenhouse sale will start first week in April, and we've already started germinating many landscape and garden plants like you would need. And so I thought it'd be a great idea since we had a 10% increase in our membership to put a 10% discount card in y'all's goodie bag. So come out and see us in the greenhouse this year and use that discount card.
Good evening. My name's Luke Milligan. Agriculture is the #1 industry in the state. Unlike many other industries, agriculture is made up of many operations, small operations. My small operation, or my SAE, this year is lawn care. Over the past summer, I bought my own lawnmower and trailer, and I spent the summer earning a revenue. In y'all's souvenir baskets, I placed one of my business cards. Give me a call if you need your yard mowed. Thank you.
My name is Layla Browder, and I got the privilege to go on our national trip to and while we were large dairy farms, and also goat farms. They make their own goat milk, provided in our goats.
Mr. Williams. I attended class public properly apple. We hope to do next members vegetables. Applesauce. Thank you guys very much for.
Thank you. And I think, Mr. Spangler, you attended your first event with them also, if you want to share. And then if you all will just come up front, we'd like to get a picture. And if you all, everyone will scoot around as Mr. Spangler is sharing about his adventures with them on their trip.
No, just first off, I want to say thank you for allowing us to be here tonight to showcase student leadership at its finest. And, you know, I've been at Bradley for 5 years as principal, and each spring they have their FFA banquet. I would encourage any of you to attend this banquet if possible. It's one of the most. It's so enjoyable to me because you know they handle parliamentary procedure. And it's student led, and so it's just really a great experience for me. They had asked me, "Hey, we need you to go to Indianapolis with us to receive the gold emblem." I can't do it this year. I can't do it this year. This year it was finally made possible through one of our grants. And I can tell you, amazing. Just picture, I think, 65,000 people and students in Navy blazers and walking through a convention center. It was just phenomenal. So thank you for allowing us to be here. And I do want to give a shout out to Mr. Haynes and Ms. Pankey because, you know, receiving an award is great, but sustaining it for as long as Bradley Central High School has is an extreme accomplishment. And Ms. Pankey joined us and just picked up right where Miss Luann Carey left off. And so just thank you for having us tonight.
Thank you. Patrick, you can come and get in the picture too.
Absolutely.
I can't get too much.
Ready? Do a series, 5 of them. Hopefully one of them, his eyes open.
And a couple.
Also, Mr. Chairman, the Tennessee Department of Education has announced the reward school designations for the 22-23 academic year, and Bradley County has reason to celebrate with 5 schools earning this prestigious honor. Those schools include Charleston Elementary, Michigan Avenue Elementary, North Lee Elementary, Parkview Elementary, and Taylor Elementary. Congratulations to those schools. This recognition reflects their outstanding achievements and commitment to academic excellence. Also, Mr. Chairman, I would like to announce a joint Education and Population Ad Hoc Committee meeting to be held on Friday, March 8th at 2 p.m. in this room. Also, Mr. Chairman, I am pinch hitting for Commissioner Alford, who asked me to announce that the Law Enforcement Committee will meet on March the 6th at 11 a.m. at the Sheriff's Office. We will be meeting at the Sheriff's Office because we will receive an update on grants, and there will also be a drone demonstration from the purchase of their new drones. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Very much. Next, go to
Mr. Chairman, the only thing I have is, I know during, we had a road committee meeting last week, and there was a brief discussion about a sewer line funded by the county to the Menace Road Fire Department. Mayor, will the developer of the annexed property be allowed to tap onto that sewer line that was paid for by the county? Will they have to pay for it also?
I guess that was a question for me, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure of the exact terminology, so I'll try to say this correctly. But Cleveland Utilities has agreed to take over that sewer line and make it a public sewer line, and those people will be connecting to the public sewer line, and so will we. So it will, and that's a good thing, because instead of having a private line, it'll be a public line that we'll be hooked onto. So Cleveland Utilities will be doing it, not the developer.
Well, that's good, but it doesn't really answer my question, because we did fund that line, didn't we? How much did that line cost?
I don't know that now. That's been a few years. Yeah, we did, but again, they're taking it over, so that means they took on all the liability and everything. That we'll give up all that potential liability from here on. That's why I say it's a good thing. But I don't remember what the cost of putting that. It was, from the school on up, is what we paid for, is what you're talking about. But I don't remember the cost.
Well, it kind of aggravates me sometime when if we want to hook on somewhere, well, they want to charge us. And I know that happened down in the Waterville community in that area, some other areas there. So, what's fair for the goose is what's fair for the gander, I reckon. But anyway, that answers my question. They're not going to pay nothing. They're just going to take over the liability of the line. That's all I wanted to know.
Is that it?
That's it. Thank you.
Great. Commissioner Gilbert, please.
This kind of feels like Christmas to me. I was in FFA, and Mr. Lackey and Mr. Leffer was my teachers. And I watched this gentleman and this young lady with these kids, and man, it brings me back to them times when I was just 86, 87, 88. And it was really exciting to see these kids come today. But I have nothing for the 4th District, and things looking good except for a fire it's put out.
Thank you very much. I don't want to make you feel too young, but I was in the FFA at Charleston in '58. So Commissioner Winters, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As a young school board chairman, Herb Lackey introduced me to the FFA. And I got to sit in and actually see this ceremony. And if you've never seen a FFA ceremony in the years you're on the commission, you ought to see that. It catches your attention because each one of them present in such an articulate way what a treasurer is supposed to do, what a secretary is supposed to do, what the president's supposed to do. Put that with a symbol that sits right beside them. So they stand up and they present in such a way that it's really heartwarming to see. FFA is a great program, and Herb Lackey is quite an all-star at Bradley County Schools. 60 Highway is still moving on. As you can see, when you get by Cleveland Middle School, it's pretty well, you can see how it's going to actually lay there. But please be aware that there are traveling times that will be slowed down as you're getting toward Paul Huff area, because they're moving dirt right across the highway with these big pieces of equipment, and you're stopped until that equipment can get across. So if you can make another route at certain times of the day, particularly when the middle school's closing down and they're working down there, it's probably a 15-minute run, if not longer, to get through there. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Collins, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I wasn't smart enough to be in the FFA. They saw me try to plant and grow vegetables, and they cut me out of that pretty quick, and probably better for it. But I'm thankful for Commissioner Slater recognizing them tonight. It's truly an honor to have them, and that is, part of the recognition of what a great school is. I know a lot of times a program like FFA doesn't make the front page of the paper. It actually does make the front page of our paper, and thank you for doing that, Grant. But doesn't make the front page of the paper, doesn't make reward school, it doesn't make a designation, but the things that students that are in FFA and programs and clubs like that do is such a strong part of not just our schools, but our communities as well. And so we're thankful to have those kids. They presented at the school board meeting, last school board, and they did awesome. I mean, it was just an incredible showing and a presentation for them, and they were just such great presenters and just had such great confidence. I was blessed by them. And so, Commissioner Slater, thank you for recognizing them. I also want to say good evening to Coach Alford. I believe Commissioner Alford, he's watching tonight. We miss him tonight. Hope that he gets better. Ms. Horner, thank you for the comments on prayer. I appreciate that. That's something elected officials appreciate, the opportunity to be prayed over. And so we're thankful for that. And I believe the last thing, Mr. Fisher, the chairman of our Cleveland Bradley Greenway Board, would like to speak for a few minutes, if that's okay, Mr. Chairman.
And we could put him on the agenda or let him, go ahead.
Go ahead, that'd be great. Thank you, Mr. Fisher.
Thank you, Commissioner Collins. I won't take very long. I'd just like to take the opportunity every once in a while to come and greet the county commission, especially when there's a lot of new members, as is the case here since the last time I spoke. Just as a reminder what a great project that the Greenway is, because it combines so much of what the city and county do together as partners. It started back in 2000, around 1999, 2000, before, and was actually helped, County Mayor Davis helped conceive it, along with Mayor Rowland and a few others, to get the first quarter mile on the ground. It has grown since then to well over 6 miles. And the county has had continuous support every year with a stipend to help us to run things. We need some grants every once in a while. We need some other things that we have costs for. Over the last 23 years, this has been a great partnership. Mylan Blake has been our county representative on the board for several years, and he's now turned that over to Commissioner Collins, and welcome. We're looking forward to working with you on the Cleveland Bradley Greenway Board. Just a reminder, and a thanks also as well for the HCI funds that have been granted to the Greenway over the years. It's been well over, since HCI was established, the county has given well over $200,000 towards Greenway projects. And the thing about that money is not going anywhere. It's staying where it was put in. A few times it's been for a bridge. Other times it's been for lengthening the Greenway. It's for the restoration of the old Dobbs Ford Bridge on the new section. So it's something that will be there for eternity, literally, and it's money that is very well spent, very well invested. I'd like for, if Lori, if you don't mind, to throw up on the screen here, one of the reasons why I wanted to come here is we have a new logo, which is very much Bradley County now, if you can tell. Really happy with that. We haven't changed our logo in about 20 years, and this is the new logo that we have just unveiled, and we're going to putting it on signage. And as you can tell, obviously it's in the shape of Bradley County, so it really is a Bradley County Greenway logo. And then the last thing I'd like to apprise you of is a ribbon cutting that we're going to have for the Candies Creek Greenway Phase 1. This is the place to tell you to go if you haven't been by there. If you go down Candies Lane, the old Rolling Hills Golf Course, right before you get to Interlaken and turn left, there's a new parking lot that's going in just there right by the creek. That will be done by March 28th, and we're going to dedicate both that trailhead and the first phase of the Candies Creek Greenway. It's about a 1.1 mile trail that is just, if you haven't been on it, I really encourage you to do it, to walk it. It's some uncharted territory that's never been walked on before, but now we have a permanent path as part of the Greenway. So just want to give that as the last thing for tonight. And I also have left a coffee mug for everyone there. I don't have a goodie bag like the FFA folks do, but I hope everyone enjoys this coffee mug with our new logo on it. Thanks so much for the time.
Hold just a second. Mr. Thompson.
Yes.
Sir, I remember the last time you were up here, I think I asked you about what you were going to do about the county having a little greenway.
Yeah,
and,
well, that's...
and you said you might have some long-range plans for Highway 64 out through there. And we'd like to have a greenway out there and get some of it in the county instead of all of it in the city.
Well, I will say it's not out 64, but we have some real possibilities up in Charleston, and I wasn't going to get into that because that's a little complicated what we need to do up there. But it's a real opportunity. Commissioner Blake has worked with the county attorney and worked with Wright Brothers Construction on some property that's been given over to the county. I think you all are aware of that. That is for Greenway. That will definitely be in the county. Not out 64 yet, but that doesn't mean it's not going to go out that way. So it's all about opportunity.
Mr.
Yes.
Fisher, he can walk the disc golf path for
yeah.
now. That'll be enough
That's
walking
right.
for him.
You do that, and you help me find a path, we will do it.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Anything else? Any other questions?
Commissioner Winters, please.
Yes.
The Bible says that without a vision, the people perish. And you've had a vision for 20 years. I remember when you were conceiving this with the two mayors, and you've been consistent, you've been committed, you've tried to save the taxpayer dollar in all of this, and you got people to dedicate land and move through. What you've done on Candace Creek and Candace Lane, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to go all the way to Fletcher. It's in our district, my district, 7th district. So you've had the vision, and you've made it work. You probably saw this, was it Hilton Head or someplace you went to see this?
Every time I go out of town, I look for greenways.
Yeah. Thanks for what you do.
Thank you. It's been quite a. This is not my real job, by the way. It's volunteer, but it really is rewarding because you can really see progress at every turn for everything that goes on with the greenway, and so I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve. And thank you for those comments.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Commissioner Rogers, please.
Cameron, the new place down here next to the Starbucks, is it getting ready to be opened up pretty soon?
That is what we call Phase 6. We've been, for about 6 years or 7 years, the city has gotten a grant to continue from Willow Street down to Inman. And from where you see these two arches going up, that's a project that's with the Rotary Club, and that's going to be dedicated March 19th, knock on wood. It's got to be finished. We have a steel arch that's going up there, and it's then 3 more feet on each side of those pedestals. That's Rotary's project to the community for their 100th anniversary, which happens next month. So that's what's happening there. That's going to be the trailhead of the Greenway, the current Greenway. And once, in fact, I just saw today, somebody forwarded me the plans to go up and connect with Willow and then down to where it currently stops right now at that arch. The city has they are putting in what is already down on the ground that was just put down last week from Inman to that arch, and then from the arch on to Willow as part of the grant that they can't really do anything until they actually have everything, all their I's dotted and T's crossed. So that's what's going on there. I'm excited about that because that's going to be the terminus. I think, Mayor Davis, we can talk about the original vision was to go from the Village Green to the Hiwassee River for this greenway following Mouse Creek. And so we've tried to do that, and this will be the terminus for the southern side of the greenway. Thanks for that question. Anything else?
Mr. Chairman, if I could add, he sort of took the words out of my mouth there, but that was the original vision, I guess you would say, was going from the village. I was before it was Allen Jones Center that it is now, all the way to the Hiwassee River. We weren't ignoring the 4th District or 64 Highway or anything, but the original vision was to do that. And many, many years ago, we actually got the bridge built at Emmons Street for the Greenway to go under it. We just could not get to Emmons Street, and now finally Phase 6 is going to do it. But a quick thing, and Cameron's heard me say this many times, Back in '99, whenever this was first being talked about a lot and planned and so forth, we finally got phase one done, and you can always tell phase one because Chief Gary was the one doing it, and it's paved. The rest of it's concrete. But that paved section from 20th Street to 25th Street, and I got so much flack over it because people were raising Cain while we were building a walking trail along a street that already had a sidewalk. They didn't understand the difference in a sidewalk and a greenway. We about the time we got that finished, we turned it over to the Greenway board, created the board, did the old logo that they did away with, and we felt like it was better for this board to be in place because it would help in getting grants, and they've continued through the city, get a lot of grants over the years. But fast forward about 15 years, probably the most popular project that Bradley County's ever been involved with, honestly. If you want to politic at election time, give out water or something like we often do, it's a lot easier than door knocking. Go to the Greenway and you'll see hundreds and hundreds of people going up and down the path. It went from a complaining about a sidewalk, a second sidewalk as they called it, to the most popular project in Bradley County. So it's something I'm very proud of. I think it's something we can all be proud of. It don't matter where in Bradley County it's at. It's all in Bradley County, and we're just something we're proud of, really. But thank you, Cameron, for all that you and the board continue to do. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
That's all
Thank you so
have?
much.
Great. All right, now we'll go to Commissioner Hughes.
Chairman, I'd like to recognize a former First District County Commissioner, Dale. I'm sure that he'll be critiquing me, see how well I'm doing and what I need to do a little better. However, also with that, Commissioner Collins, can you check with the school system if they can talk or maybe send another letter from the school system on the ACP? I would imagine that program actually affects several students of ours, or at least helps them.
Would you?
We can bring that up in our education meeting on the 8th.
Okay, thank you.
Lori, will you
other than
remind me of that?
Other than that, I have nothing else.
Commissioner Beatty, please.
Back in the 70s, I was in the FFA too, and I really thought Herbert Lackey and Charles Arnold were real good teachers back then. And we did numerous projects. One of the projects we done, we helped landscape Bradley High School when it was built back then. But basically, that's all I got. So I like to recognize the head back there.
Is that it? Okay, great. Next would be agenda items. We have no agenda items. Now we'll go to communication from the audience. I'll recognize and allow 5 minutes to anyone that would like to speak.
How y'all doing? Glad to see that the FAA is still going strong. You know, I'm here to try to, I know there's a lot of things going on in the country, and there's a lot of, there's a lot of disinformation, and there's a lot of things that happen. But I think that something that the people in this community and the leadership of this community need to be made aware of. I've been watching, and I have some state guard contacts and people all over the country, and was watching some videos from the O'Keefe Media Group, former Project Veritas, and they were showing how the federal government and some of these NGOs, Red Cross, and these type of agencies are moving dangerous individuals. I know we like to always say they're not criminal aliens, but that's the term I use because, if these people were all families, children, those sort of structures, it'd be one thing. But predominantly what we have coming into our country now are military-age men, which I find interesting that, that we have this it's not immigration, it is an invasion. And the Project Veritas they had been following some of these buses that were leaving out of the Texas area and coming across, and guess where they ended up? They were stopping. The bus didn't go from location A to location B. It stopped along the way, and part of it was Murfreesboro, Chattanooga, and then on over towards Virginia. And these people are allowed to pick the location wherever they want to get off the bus. I think you need to be preparing for what's coming. This hasn't slowed down. In fact, they've got all this hyperbole about the border, that little thing there in Texas, and that's nothing. That's a distraction. It's coming now from the northern side, the northern part of the border. There's a lot to that subject. Something that's very alarming. I gave each one of you a copy of a bill that's a Senate bill in the federal Congress that is extremely alarming when you read this. You need to read it in totality, because as you read through this bill basically says that first thing, it violates the Constitution in at least 4 places in just a brief reading that I made of it. The other thing that it talks about is that they are going to, this bill would disallow any type of action in the community by citizens. In other words, like when we had the tornado and they had all the looting stuff that was going on. If you and 2 of your neighbors got together to try to prevent that, you would be in breach of this law. When you read through each amendment of this proposed bill, you need to read to the latter side of it, because the first side makes it want to sound like anybody who's trying to protect their community is some type of insurrectionist, terrorist, or whatever. But as you read back through each one of these sections of this bill, you will see that this is so ambiguous that this could define anyone. If you go out and target shoot with your neighbors, and then let's say we had a tornado and you were trying to prevent looters because law enforcement is overwhelmed, those individuals could be arrested as a felony under this bill. You need to read this and see. I find this extremely interesting that this is coming up when that started. Really, really interesting that these things coincide. Has this bill passed? No. Has this bill gone through one committee and passed? Yes. You need to be aware of this. These are the type of federal government overreach that need to be dealt with. And I realize you guys don't pass law. I'm well aware of that. But, resolutions to our state, to tell the state government that we'll not allow the federal government these type of deals. These are unconstitutional, and unconstitutional. Anybody that would propose these things is an enemy of the people. You are an enemy of the people if you propose this. What are you afraid of? So now we're being told that under this, we wouldn't be allowed to protect our homes. We wouldn't be allowed to protect our families. We wouldn't be allowed to protect our community. If you don't believe me, it's right there, bold print. It defines everything. It says dangerous weapons. Okay, these are considered dangerous weapons. Sticks, knives, guns, whatever. All of these are dangerous weapons. These make it a felony to defend your property and your community and your family. You need to be made aware of these things. So there's a very good bill in the House of Tennessee House that is a bill that would give this Tennessee state the authority to circumvent and negate this type of actions by the federal government because they are in violation of the Constitution. So anyway, I just wanted to give that to you and let you give it a read. You need to understand what's going on, and these things creep up on us, and then all of a sudden, and you need to be financially prepared for what's coming, because as these groups of people come into the community, they overwhelm the system in the community. They overwhelm the medical. They overwhelm the schools. They overwhelm law enforcement. All of these things are at risk and in peril, and we need to understand that. And that's why I'm here. But give it a read, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, hold
Hey,
on.
Dan.
Dan.
What's the bill in the state of Tennessee that would?
It's House Bill 0726. I did not see a companion bill in the Senate, but I heard they're putting one together, but there's not that I know of.
In the Senate?
Bill. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but that's what I was told, is that they've got one that they're getting ready to put.
Thanks.
Okay.
Commissioner Winters, hold.
Sure, I'm sorry.
You sent this to our state.
A couple of them, yes.
Communicated with them.
I've talked to one of them. See, the thing is, as they went into session. That's when I got this. You know, so it hasn't been a lot of time in between. You know, and when somebody first told me about this, I thought, there's no way. I mean, this is so flagrant. You know, it's if they were trying to make you second-class citizens in your own country, they couldn't be doing a better job.
Ms. Gleason. Oh, I thought she wanted to speak. I was just going to call. Okay. Thank you. Anyone else from the audience would like to speak, please? All right. If no one, the next meeting will be a voting session Monday, March the 4th at 7 p.m. here at the courthouse. Upcoming events, Finance Committee, March the 4th at 11:30 a.m. here at the courthouse. Joint Education and Population Ad Hoc Committee, March the 8th, 2 p.m. here in the conference room. Law Enforcement Committee will be meeting at the Sheriff's Department Wednesday, March the 11th. And with that, we are